know if you can hear us.
Let's see what we can do.
I saw a countdown to me throwing my router. It's a definite possibility. Definitely a possibility of me throwing my router tonight.
Trash it.
I'm pulling up my live chat here.
We're back.
Potentially. It appears that we're back on the computer.
Who's on what side?
Yeah. Okay, is that better? Can you hear it? Like I don't know if these headphones have a mic in them or not, so I might be talking to the phone, which is far away.
No, I can hear. I mean, right? Is this thing
Oh
on?
man. Okay, so hopefully this is much better than 5 minutes ago. So welcome back to our Monday night episodes of How Can We Screw Up a Live Stream Today?
Live stream for dummies.
Yeah,
We're the dummies.
man, wild. I need a crash course in live stream apparently because I clearly can't get this figured out.
Well, to be fair, we almost weren't even going to have one because of the situation you have
Yeah,
over
okay.
there.
So since everybody everybody got stuck on downstairs toilet apparently. So anyway, I had my septic replaced because the downstairs bathroom was flooding when we would do laundry, and the water was coming out from below the toilet, not like overflowing the toilet. It was coming out like on ground level below the toilet. The plumber and two septic guys said, "Yep, you need a septic." So we had the septic replaced to the tune of like $19,000, and here we are 3 months later. It did it again. Less than 10 days after I fully finished the bathroom. So tonight, when I left the shop, I went home and ripped up all the flooring and pulled the sink and vanity out, and the linen cabinet that I built in got all wet and screwed up, and cut more drywall back out of the walls. Obviously all the trim and all that stuff got all wet too. So really super cool, awesome day I had. I had a really good weekend though. Prior.
It's really looking on the bright side, man.
Yeah.
That sounds like a hell of a Monday.
Yeah. Friday. So my wife, when my wife moved here in freshman year of high school, she moved here from Florida, and when she moved here, her best friend at the time came with her for like summer vacation or whatever. So clearly, obviously, I got to know both of them because they moved in across the street from my mom and dad. But my wife's friend moved to Alaska. She got married to a guy in the military and moved to Alaska. So we haven't seen her in a handful of years. But her parents just moved from Florida to Tennessee. So my wife wanted to go visit. She was helping her parents move to Tennessee from Florida, so she was in Tennessee. My wife wanted to go visit her friend because she hasn't seen her in a couple years. So this past weekend, we drove to Kentucky and Tennessee to visit my wife's friend from Alaska in Tennessee. It was a big, long, convoluted story, I understand. But yeah, so Friday, we stayed at a hotel in Corbin, Kentucky, at Cumberland Falls. But my wife's friend was in Crossville, Tennessee, which is about 2.5 hours south of there. So Friday, I drove from here to Kentucky to the hotel, checked into the hotel, and then drove another 2.5 hours to Crossville, Tennessee to have dinner with my wife's friend, and then drove back to Kentucky, back to the hotel. So I did like 12 hours of driving on Friday just to go to dinner, basically. But then Saturday we did a bunch of hiking and waterfalls and all kinds of stuff. It was pretty cool.
I would say the waterfall pics look pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, Zach. I know I was reasonably close to you there. I wish I would have been staying. I was only in Crossville for like an hour and 45 minutes, like just long enough to go out to dinner, have a couple beers at dinner, and then jump back on the road and head back to the hotel. So I wasn't there long enough to hang out. I did take my Ford Ice and my Class 1 truck with me. I did not drive either of them, though, unfortunately. Wish I could have, but I didn't.
Vacation.
Yeah, exactly. Happy wife, happy life. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it was basically I drove 12 hours so my wife could have dinner with her friend that she hasn't seen in a couple of years.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, the views down there looked pretty nice. So, I mean,
yeah, every time I go to Kentucky or Tennessee or Alabama or Oklahoma, every time I come home, I have a much greater disdain for the state of Indiana. I have much less want to stay here every time I go somewhere and come back.
Man, I'm glad I'm not the only one with that feeling.
Even so, like my wife likes beaches and sand and whatever, and I don't. And I've always told her that like if I were gonna move somewhere, it would be to like Middle Kentucky to Middle Tennessee, somewhere in there. If I was moving south, that's where I'm stopping. Middle Kentucky to Middle Tennessee, and she didn't care about that very much. But the last couple vacations we've gone on this last one Saturday, she was like, maybe we should just buy a piece of land down here somewhere and save it for later. And I was like,
now
okay.
she's talking.
Yeah, now we're talking shit, exactly. 3 weeks till Crawlapalooza. I was actually thinking about that a few minutes ago, Theron.
I've not been thinking about that in the past few minutes. I've been thinking about that for like 2 weeks. Hey, Brett, you get that wrap? Hey, Brett, not bugging.
Wesley's still waiting on a chassis. I haven't even cut him. A chassis
Oh,
yet.
Man, I need a custom boy.
Yeah. Access to a beach house in Oregon. I mean, my wife would probably like that. I'm not a beach person. Checkered Fast.
All right, man. I'm gonna get that number later.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not a beach guy. My wife is, but if you want to meet up and go crawling while the wife hangs out at the beach, I'm down for that. Sounds great to me. Why is the there we go. Live chat was not popping up on my phone. It was on the computer below it, but not on my phone.
Yep, I've been kind of plucking away at this old gal.
I like your tape job on the bed there.
So, the dove isn't quite symmetrical. It's more like a parallelogram. So this 3D printed bread kind of straightened it out.
There you go.
So that's what the tape is doing, is holding the bedsides to the bottom of the bed. Yeah. Probably crude. I might get ridiculed for my method here, but it's definitely not like really a weight savings solution.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be strong. I was kind of worried that the seam for the bob I did on this would be a little weak, so having epoxy all along this outer perimeter, I think I'll be all right.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I had my buddy 3D print the bed for me. Turned out good. He wasn't satisfied with the print, but I was like, dude, for what this thing's gonna do, we're gonna be in good shape. I'm not too
Yeah.
worried about it. And if there's any imperfections, I'll just glue a little jerry can in there or something. I'm not too worried about it.
Right.
But I think it looks pretty good. I was gonna do styrene, but I don't have the styrene skills when I could just whip this up and have it printed.
Yeah. Zach says leaving early Wednesday morning for Super Shafty. Maybe we can do Crawlapalooza next year. Crawlapalooza should definitely be on your list of things to do.
Yeah.
It's not Josh Craft Foam, so no one will laugh. I love my Craft Foam interiors. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I had this interior, that plain Jane Cherokee or XJ interior you can get off Amazon, laying around. So that's what I'm gonna go with. I'll probably, however, craft from the back side. You can kind of see
Yeah.
behind the front seats. I'll probably craft from that because that's gonna be quick and easy. And
Yeah,
weigh
get it
nothing.
knocked out.
Yeah. But other than that, man, that frame and she's runnable. I won't
And the
really
frame
go.
is just swapping.
Yeah, yeah, and that's pretty easy. Um, and just like the Jelly Bean, my rear body mount and everything, that system has been pretty. It's it's met my standards. I've gotten to the point to where I'm really lazy with how I put batteries in. So unbolting stuff doesn't fly with me anymore. I have to like pinch and hinge. Is what
So for anybody that has hard bodies that wants to do a hinged body mount, I've figured out a very 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 easy way to do it. If you have a hard body, take a regular rod end and just bolt it to the last hole in the chassis, and then run a screw through the back of the body to the rod end, and then it still pivots on there. Like the world's easiest body hinge setup ever. Assuming that the chassis is far enough inside the body for the length of the rod end. It won't work on my Class 1 truck because the body ends right at the frame, but
I had also kind of flush mounted. I had reamed out the. See if it focuses.
I can see it pretty all right.
I flush mounted a light pod in for the high beam, so I have a light pod and the factory lens cover still
Really
fits. Should be pretty bright. I'm not a fan of lights. My buddy Jonathan actually was holding those light pods, and we were looking at it, and I was like, should I cut that out? And I was like, I'm gonna cut that out. I'm gonna do it. Just for the just for the night runs at Crawlapalooza this year.
Yeah,
Only
I think I'm just
reason-
gonna run the blue Metal Masher truck for the night run stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know where that truck is.
The only other truck I have with lights is the blue 4Runner, and it has those like the ones I like painted yellow, so they don't really function as lights. They're just like they look like daytime running lights with a foggy headlight lens.
Yeah, the headlights and taillights on the blue Masher truck are the same way. They're the soft white or whatever, but I've got those LED panels underneath it that light it up pretty well. The ones that Austin made. So yeah, I'll cut that chassis for you tomorrow and work on that wrap tomorrow also.
It'd be pretty dope. You can't be tired, man. Stop that.
Yeah, I was tired of driving by yesterday evening. Have you used the LED strips for rock lights? I have not.
I'll be lucky to have this thing done.
This truck has these big panels underneath it that are very, very bright. So I think there's 4 of those panels underneath that truck, and they are just dumb.
Dumb bright.
Yeah.
I forgot I still have these reflector or the
Window visors.
window visors.
Cheapish option, or yeah, they're those LED panels are pretty cheap on Amazon, and then you can just direct power them to 3S, run them right to the battery. The ones that are on that have a remote on-off on them, so there's like a little switching relay or whatever, but they're direct power to the battery.
It's kind of trick.
Yeah.
Just more weight. Just more stuff, man. I hate light wiring so much.
Yeah. Darren's mad at me for making Tim that flat-bellied C1 mullet. He wanted his own chassis that Tim didn't have, but Tim has one now.
Well, I don't want to tell him.
I have some of the Vanquish Q Series pods that I drilled. I drilled the grill out on the C1 because I was going to put them in, but I never did. So I have holes cut out for them in the front. I think they're not on the bench, but they're in one of my bins over there somewhere. I'm usually a headlight, taillight guy, but more for effect. Never really do night crawls. I don't ever really do night crawls either. Only at Crawlapalooza.
Yeah.
But even then, there's usually plenty of moonlight out there, and if you have a headlight on your head, the lights on the vehicles don't matter much. It's just the driving them through the woods to get out there that's nice to have a little bit of light coming from the trucks so you can see tree branches and whatever underneath them.
It looks cool in pics.
Yeah. I use the LED strips you can get at Pep Boys. Yeah, that's another option. Anything that's 12 volt, you can direct power 3S and be done with it. My issue with most of that stuff is I don't run 3S on any of my comp trucks. Not that I run any lights on my comp trucks anyway, but I run 4S on my comp trucks, so those usually don't like 4S power.
You need. What would you run that through? Like a BEC or something?
Yeah, I've got voltage steppers, little voltage stepper BECs that you can run them through, but I just don't. But I think my C1 truck's ready for Crawlapalooza. I might only run Class 1. I don't think I'm going to run Class 2. If I can, I don't know, I might order a set of the Vanquish VXT2s for a Class 2 tire. I want to give those a shot. Maybe I'll get a hold of Tim and see if he has this extra set or something he can just bring down there. Yeah. I have some cool SOR ones that I plan to install in a Class 0 dollhouse build. I have never built a Class 0 truck, and I don't think I ever will. Checkered past, you mad about craft foam interiors. This interior is all craft foam. It's all nice and sealed up in there. It's got a dash, floor, 2 seats, driver, passenger, steering wheel, center console. All the points. I only have 2 rigs with lights. My Phoenix and my wife's truck, both with the Incision light kits. The Incision light kits are definitely nice. I think I have one of those too, also in a bin over there. You cop
These
guys
are
all about
some
weight savings, exactly. How did you guys get into RCs? I'll let you go first on that one, Wes.
Shoot. Well, my first like modded crawler was actually a Radio Shack X mod that I hollowed out a servo so it'd spin 360, and then I hot glued it to the. If anybody ever had one of those, you could, as long as you had a use the same gear or whatever. But my first hobby grade was a SC10 short course truck, which the racing was cool. I definitely see it, but the guys, I don't know, Bray, you might know that the guys in the racing stuff up there, they're kind of like just jerks, which kind of put me off of it. So, and I hated that I was limited. Like, you can't add anything to those trucks to make them look scale because you just kill the performance. So, if it wasn't stickers, then you're kind of wasting your time. So, I got in the crawling and then started building stuff since.
Yeah, I started in racing in like '99, I think. Buddy of mine's dad raced, and there was a indoor carpet track we went to a couple of times with him, and then decided I wanted one, and it kind of went from there. And then when the crawler stuff, so it was probably 2004 or so. I was in robotics class, no, manufacturing class, and my project was I built like I guess back then it would be what would be a super class crawler, big clodbuster axles and a torsion chassis as part of a school project. And then after that, it was Wheelie King axles and TLT axles and stuff like that, building custom crawler stuff. And then the AX10 came out, so I got one of those and kind of went from there.
And here we are.
Yeah. So, but I have now again an 8-scale buggy, and I was having fun racing that a couple weeks ago at a buddy's house. So I don't know. Racing with a handful of buddies is different than trying to race competitively on like like a club racing or anything bigger than that. But I'd rather just goof around with my buddies at a track. Crawling over racing. Got a solid group of friends with way less ego than racing. Yeah, there is a lot of ego in racing.
I've seen a lot of ego in crawling too.
That I have, yeah. Yeah. There's definitely egos everywhere.
I think the people that turn me off of racing, I think they're pretty mild compared to some of the personalities I've seen or met crawling. So I think if I didn't have such a foundation in crawling right now, I probably would just kind of move on to something else.
Yeah. What am I eating for dinner tonight, boys? I'm about to go grocery shopping. You want something quick and easy, or are you cooking a meal tonight? If you're going grocery shopping, I'm assuming you're going to want a quick and dirty. I had frozen pizza for dinner, so but that was because I
frozen pizza. Nice.
disassembling a bathroom. So
You washed your hands, right?
says he wants a meal. Well, I'm not a chef.
A
I'm
meal.
not a
What
meal
the
person.
heck?
I had fish and chips at a restaurant the other night in Kentucky that was very good. So I say fish and chips. Get you some frozen fish strips. Throw them bad boys in the air fryer. Crisp them things up. Fish and chips and fries. That's what I'm going with. Raced a little in the 90s and didn't get back into RCs until the 20 teens. Tim says he has an extra set of VXT2. Cool, I'll get a hold of him. Raced 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive at Thunder Road. Not the best at high speeds, but the people that raced there were cool. No large egos. Yeah, so racing around in a buddy's backyard. He built a really, really, really cool track in his backyard. Like, this backyard track rivals most race tracks that people race on. I mean, it has a 16-foot tall driver stand that's probably 10 by 30 long. Lights that are on photocells, so the lights come on when it gets dusk. Transponder system, speakers. I mean, whole 9 yards. So this backyard track with my buddies is pretty good. Smell like a soccer locker room, but okay then, fish it is. Started with a honcho. I had a couple of honchos when they first came out too. So did Wesley. Wesley had a white and black honcho.
I think I still have that body actually. Maybe.
New York steak and mashed potatoes. That sounds pretty good too, Toby.
You say RC mashed potatoes?
What's that? New York steak and mashed potatoes.
I thought he said RC's mashed potatoes.
No. TRX4 Blazer and still have it. I have not owned. So I have never owned a complete TRX4. I've never purchased a whole TRX4.
I don't think my 4Runner was a whole TRX4.
I bought axles and I bought a transmission, but I never had a whole truck.
I haven't bought a new kit in a long time. Like, it might be like 6 or 7 years. I think. No, man. I don't know. I think I've been building from scratch for like 8 years.
I wish I could say that I hadn't bought a kit in that long because I buy every one that comes out. Kit or RTR. Well, there's a Fordyce above my head. I didn't need that truck. Needed that truck like a hole in my head, but back soon. Dinner calls, brisket and potatoes. That sounds good too. Damn it, that sounds way better than my frozen pizza.
Yeah, wait. Why are you bragging, dude?
Yeah. Don't come back. Happy to say I've never had a TRX4. Yeah, like I said, I've never owned a complete TRX4, and this Fordyce is my first. It's my first complete Vanquish truck too. I've had parts and pieces, and there's most of one on a bench over here, but it wasn't complete. Yeah, I've bought tons of parts for them, but never had a whole one until the Fordyce. Now, axial trucks, I've had a lot of those. Most of them didn't stay complete trucks for very long, but they were complete when I bought them. Had Taco Bell. That sounds good too, though. Damn it.
You get ridiculed down here if you get Taco Bell. There's so many like little taco stands. You're like, but I don't know, man. Something about shitty tacos just
Yeah,
sounds good.
you gotta have it sometimes, man.
I gotta know. I gotta know how bad it can get, so I know how good it is.
Yeah, I might go to Taco Bell tomorrow. I don't know. Shit, Taco Bell and Tums now. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I think. Well, Tim said his class zero is ready. My class one's ready. I will message you, Tim, about tires if you have a spare set. Notice the F10 leaf mounts only fit the FT in front. What is required to get them in the rear? The issue with the rear F10T axle is that Vanquish changed the location. They changed the angle at which the bracket is attached to the axle housing. So when you try to bolt on the our leaf spring mounts to the F10T axles, it changes the pinion angle really bad. So you can either try to bend the bracket, or you can 3D print a shim to try to correct pinion angle. Uh, you can modify things to make it fit. However, it does require modifying. So we just state that it doesn't fit because it does require modifying to make it fit.
Um, yeah. I feel like they. I feel like the original. I feel like they went off of the like AR-44 bolt pattern on that rear because it's just different than all the other F series axles.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Tim says new class one. I'm loving it. So Tim, you're running the C1 Pro chassis in class zero, and the mullet chassis I sent you as class one, or the other way around. I don't remember which one you used on which. Either way, the C1 Pro will always work. More of a Del Taco guy. We had a Del Taco here for like 9 months, and then it closed. I'm much more of a Moe's Southwest Grill guy than Taco Bell, and definitely more than Chipotle. I hate Chipotle.
We have Taco Cabana down here, which is also cheap crappy tacos, but you can buy beers in there, and I'm like, dang, not a bad, not a bad thing right there. I feel like that's the thing that Taco Bell's missing is, I think there was a Taco Bell in Las Vegas where you could get margaritas, I think, but
Yeah,
that should be like a nationwide thing.
it should be. Mullet class one, class zero. I got lazy and used the stock BS410. That works.
Hey, Brad, did you get in on the stickers?
I did not this time. I normally do, but I did not this time. But I did see that you did.
Yes. Now I got the hard decision. I should have got two. I see why people get two because these I want to put away somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
I have most of the sticker sheets. I normally only peel like a couple of them off there, use a couple of them, and then the rest of them sit in a pile. So
Yeah.
Zach Cantrell, very impressed with my C1 mullet. Tim was worried about time getting stuff together. Still have a sporty chassis, may take a stab at. You mean a high-low? Yeah. I don't have any interest in running sporty down there. I can't wait to go down there though.
Yeah, no. Turns out every weekend in October is busy for me, but that's the one I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. So the weekend after, so I come home like that Sunday or whatever. My wife leaves that Monday, and she's gone for 10 days for work. So like, I come home, I'll see my wife for a couple of hours, and then she's gone. Because even if we leave at 7 a.m., 8 a.m. on Sunday morning, it's a 11 and a half hour drive plus a time change, so it's 12 and a half hours realistically. So if we leave at 7 in the morning, it's 8 p.m. by the time I get home. Uh, and after 12 hours or 11 hours of driving, the last thing you want to do is just hang out, I'm ready to go to bed.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
Tim, dude, do you think so? The SCX6 courses last year were pretty intense. I wonder what they're gonna do this year.
I mean, yeah, that was a pretty rough course for SCX6s. I'm definitely taking mine because it's fun, but I'm not
Well,
gonna top it.
we'll set up the. Wait, is Heavy bringing his?
I don't know. I haven't talked to him much. I need to get a hold of him and see when he wants to leave and whatever, if he even if he even wants to go. Like, I know he said he's going, but if
The
he wants to go with me or not.
where I was going with that was I'm gonna have extra tables again for our night festivities.
Yeah, so he can jump it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, like 4 feet. Um, have you ever? Are you familiar with the Swamp Fest they do for BMXs in Florida?
Mm-hmm.
We need to do that with crawlers. Just Swamp Fest.
No,
Yes.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. My SCX6 doesn't need to go in the water anymore.
Did you ever get it out of the camper?
Yeah, I
Okay,
washed. I washed it a couple weeks ago. So
a
this
couple
put
of weeks ago.
yeah. So this put life into perspective. So I'm sitting in front of my shop, spraying off and scrubbing a $1,200 RC car. Meanwhile, a grown man riding a kick, like a kid's razor kick scooter with his backpack on in a work uniform is, I assume, scootering either to work or from work. And I'm like, mm, that kind of puts a little bit of life into perspective there. Like,
Yeah.
that dude's rubbing nickels together to get to work, and here I am abusing a $1,200 RC car.
I actually see that often down here, but
Yeah,
it's also like city life too. So
yeah. Tim says Tim says he hopes their driver's courses and no winches because even though I have one, not everyone does, and they're expensive. Hell, I added up my SCX6 the other day and cried. Yeah, my SCX6 is box stock except for a home servo and a BEC. So while it is still $1,200-$1,300 with batteries, I can only imagine what people that have you know axles and links and higher end, high dollar servos and winches and motors and ESCs and all the other shit that everybody does to them. You know.
yeah, I gotta say I've wussed out on that investment.
Yeah.
Because up until recently, I really didn't have the room for such a beast.
Yeah. Oof, Tim. He says I can have 3 SCX6s. Ouch.
3?
Jeremy, what's going on, buddy? I cut your C1 Pro today. I know Wesley shipped the dual servo mount and panhard mount for your kit the other day too. I haven't put
Yeah.
tracking in. Haven't put tracking in yet on any of that stuff because anything that was like double shipping from him and from I until everything ships, I don't put any of the tracking in. So
Yeah, I shipped everything out Saturday. I was feeling like a responsible adult and worked on the weekends. You're welcome.
While I was out hiking, you were working.
Hey, the
roles
tides have
reversed.
turned, man.
Yeah.
Usually it's opposite.
Yep.
I'll be camping. I'll be leaving to go camping Friday right after work. So this weekend will be a no ship weekend for me.
I
So
think I should have everything done and out the door by Wednesday. So like, I did the inventory update like we always do, but I actually made a post about it this time in the fan page stating, hey, this, and this. And I probably shouldn't have before I went out of town because
all these orders dropped.
yeah, because thankfully y'all picked through our inventory like crazy, but unfortunately, when you're out of town and your phone is just going ding, 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 it makes you go, crap, I should be at work.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was out enjoying my weekend I do enjoy my weekends pretty often, but I was actually gone out of town enjoying my weekend. So, but anyway, I hope everything will be out the door by Wednesday.
Little did you know your bathroom was filling up with water.
Yes. Yeah. No, that didn't happen until Sunday night. So that didn't happen
Sunday
until
night, fantastic.
Yeah. So yeah, we got home from our trip and threw laundry in the washing machine, and the second load of laundry, the bathroom flooded. So,
man,
sweet.
I don't know how are those two tied together.
They're not like physically tied together, but they run the two lines. They tie into the same line where they eject out into the septic from the house. I guess you think of it like a Y fitting or whatever. So, but it's right where it exits the house. So I don't know. I'm over it. I'm calling a plumber. I'm not fucking with it again. So, yeah.
Is the plumber going to be competent?
I don't know. He's going to have to cut the concrete, I can tell you that. So we'll find out after he cuts the concrete how competent he is. If he can cut straight, then I'll know he's halfway competent.
He's laying down a laser chalk line.
Yeah. Tim's still battling insurance on his house. Yeah, that sucks. It does.
Dude.
This is the third time this bathroom is flooded, and so this is the third time I have had to cut drywall out of this bathroom. And I literally waited 3.5 months after the septic got done to make sure that this wasn't happening still, and it never happened in the last 3.5 months of doing normal doing laundry, whatever. Didn't happen in the last 3.5 months. So I finally completed the bathroom, finished the bathroom, and 10 days later it floods again. I'm like, I was so mad last night. Well, I was frustrated. I wasn't mad. I was just straight up I didn't even have words. It just
ready to play.
I walked in there to go to the bathroom and I saw water on the floor and I'm like, I know where that came from. I heard the toilet gurgle.
No.
Yeah. Should have known. So I set up the fan in there and walked away until today. And I went home after work and tore it back apart. At least, I just put it together so I knew exactly how to take it apart.
Right. By the way, I'm kind of purposely doing this out of frame.
I can tell.
If you know, you might know. But...
yeah. I did take my Ford Ice down to the river and run it for a little bit the other day. I'd be asking for a refund. Well, I don't believe so. I needed a septic system. I was shown the issues with the septic system, so I know that the septic did need replaced. and they didn't make any guarantees about that not happening again because no one actually knew or whatever. But the only thing that it about can be at this point is a broken pipe under the concrete. Because, I mean, tell me if this makes any sense to you. So, like, the toilet is sealed to the pipe with a wax ring, right?
Right.
So, theoretically, water can't travel back up underneath, from inside the pipe to outside the toilet without going up the toilet and overflowing the toilet, right? So the only way for water to come out at ground level below the toilet is if the wax ring is bad, which it's not, it's brand new 3 months ago, and or if the pipe is broken and water is going outside the pipe and coming up from outside the pipe underneath the toilet and flowing out on the ground. So it basically has to be a broken pipe, because I can tell you right now that it's not the wax seal. That it was a brand new toilet and a brand new wax ring and a brand new flange 3.5 months ago. So the chances of that being it are pretty much zero. So it basically has to be a broken pipe, because that's the only way for water to get outside of the bottom of the toilet.
That sounds illogical.
Funny, not funny story. 2 messed up SRS wires in a new Supra today. Had to price out an entire main interior harness, 60 hours. Yikes. Warranty repair.
Don't miss it. No. I don't miss it.
Toby's catching sneak peeks on you there.
Stop looking.
Yeah. You can't see what you think you're seeing.
Yeah. Everyone, close your eyes.
Oh, right. Okay, gotcha. No warranty. Hopefully it's insurance company then. Good grief.
No warranty? Dang, that's a good job then.
Yeah, like old Supra or new Supra?
Speaking of old Supra, I saw an old dude in a dark blue Supra turbo. I'm like, dude, that guy is probably the original owner of that.
Yeah, probably.
He's sitting here casually driving like $120,000. I bet you that thing has like 40,000 miles or something ridiculous.
Yeah, just casually driving a 6-figure car, doesn't even care.
Yeah, whatever.
2021, it was T-boned prior, I guess. Huh.
Well, on a positive note, my geometries are better. Oh gosh, everyone can see.
I got a random package of skeletons the other day from Amazon that I did not order.
Gabe's.
So I don't. It doesn't have G-Speed on it, so
you gotta pay for the convenience.
Yeah. So yeah, I have a bunch of skeletons if somebody needs driver figures. Speaking of cars, the R34 GTR market is bonkers. People want 100K. Yeah, that's
for a 20-year-old. Or wait, the 34? Yeah.
Yeah, it's been that way for a couple years.
So even the R35, I was like, what are those? Those are almost. Are they 20 years now? They're like old now. But like the price. So there's 2 cars I'd like to have at some point. One of them is the R35. I think would be cool. The other one is the Lotus Elise, the little mid-engine with the Corolla motor, or I think of their Camry motor. But dude, those have been 30. You can get you can look at a 99 Lotus Elise. It's still 40 grand. They've not decreased or increased in price, like ever since I've could see one to buy. Oh gosh.
The car I wish I would have bought 6 years ago, Lexus LFA. The LFA market was just tanked a handful of years ago, but now they are big money cars again.
I had the pleasure of hearing one at the F1 track.
They sound amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a Lambo V10 or whatever sounds pretty good, but that Lexus or Yamaha derived V10.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yamaha, yeah. Yep, they sound really good. Tim says avoid the Lotus.
Why? Tell me.
LFA is the best sounding production car. Period. I'd agree with you 110% on that, Tim. And like I said, that 5, 6, 7 years ago, the market on them was just in the hole. Nobody wanted them. You couldn't give them away. But now they're big money again.
Now, keep in mind, Tim, this wouldn't be a daily driver, so I'm not worried about the reliability thing.
Yeah.
But it is British, so there probably is some electrical bugs on there.
Yeah. 69 Nova or an 80 Porsche 911, 787B. My uncle has a 70 Nova, SS Nova. That's a pretty nice car. I like that one. Behind the lift, those of you who weren't here a few weeks ago, behind the lathe on the lift is my grandpa's 55 Bel Air convertible.
Yeah, what's the status on that bad boy?
Got the wiring harness, all that stuff's here. All of the front suspension is here. Drop spindles, coil springs, disc brake conversion kit, all that is here. The brake lines should be here next week sometime, I think. Doing all new brake lines through the entire car. Pre-bent stainless, like it's a whole kit. So that should all be here hopefully next week sometime. So I can get started on the roller, basically.
Sounds like a fun project.
Yeah.
If you got time. If you don't have time, that sucks.
Yeah. Well, the nice thing is it's in my shop, so.
Yeah. In the AC.
In the heat and AC.
Or in your area, heat here in about a month.
No, this week. So today is 85. Tomorrow's 85. Thursday it's like 74, and then it drops off Friday, Saturday. The low Saturday night is 38.
Ew.
Yeah.
Have you looked at it? What's it going to be like in Disney?
54. I haven't looked.
I haven't looked either. Now I'm concerned. Well, we got cabins. Whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, we're looking at lows in the low 40s, upper 30s, and highs in the upper 50s now at the end of the week and all next week.
Disgusting.
So, yeah, not looking forward to it. When, like I said, it's 85 today, 84 today.
Gross.
Not cool. Not cool at all. Tim says, kit cars, dryer vents used as AC ducts, and the sheet metal self-tap screws to assemble. Yeah. Shop a couple doors down from where I work, tunes supercars. There's probably 12 GTRs, a couple R8s. I saw a Lamborghini there today when I was heading home. Some badass cars. That sounds like a cool place. There's a high-end auto detailer on my normal route, we'll call it, that does high-end detailing on high-end cars. And there's always some really cool shit sitting outside there, too, from classics to supercars. Drops to the 70s on Wednesday, Theron said.
Oh, that ain't so bad. Well, in Disney, right?
Well, it doesn't matter what happens this week. We're still
Yeah.
16 days away, so
No.
yeah. So the forecast won't be out that far anyway.
No. You have to look at the Farmer's Almanac.
Yeah. Well, the farm. I can tell you the 4 years I've been there. One of the years it was so cold and rainy that nobody wanted to do anything, and 2 years it was cold as shit at night and hot as hell during the day. Never makes any sense, and you can't predict it. So just go with it. This past weekend, it was for the Ultra 4 race. It was like 94 degrees that Saturday for the Ultra 4 race.
Nice. That's like AC for me.
Yeah.
I was did some hiking Sunday, and I was like, "That's pretty nice out." What? And I look at the phone. It's like 95. I was like, "Oh, is that where it's at now? This feels good."
that's
95 feels. I'm like, "Oh man, it's pretty nice out today."
Nope.
Oh, only 95. Wow.
Yeah,
Get the sweatshirt out.
Yeah, it's officially all my hoodies are at my shop season because you wear them in the morning and you take them off when you get to the shop, and then you forget to grab them when you leave.
Yeah.
So before you know it, by the end of the week, all your hoodies are laying in a pile at the shop, and then you don't have one the next morning.
Did I ever tell you about the Columbia jackets I had bought?
No.
So I bought a Columbia jacket from down here, wore it up north. It was freaking cold, man. I was like, "What the hell is wrong with this jacket?" I go to the Lighthouse outlets, buy the same jacket, and I'm warm as can be. So I think like down here they have just like for looks. It must just be for looks.
No
Because the
filling
jacket I
inside
bought down here sucked.
it. Just bought a 4-inch lift kit for my truck. Can't wait for that to come in. That'll look good on your truck, Jeremy. It'll look really good. Got my 96 Land Cruiser to pass smog. Super stoked.
Where? Who said this?
SLZ builds.
I could have taught you how to pass smog. Because I passed smog down here in my almost 400,000 mile 96 Land Cruiser. I made it happen. No
I'm
chicken
gonna
party, nothing.
tomorrow on my way somewhere. I will drive by. There's a shop on the next road over that has
Is that white one?
No, that is still sitting there right across the street. That's still here. There's a shop on the next road over that has like 4 or 5 Range Rovers, like the old square body ranges. I'm like, yeah, those are cool. I'll send you pictures of them.
See those quite a bit down here. I actually saw one last Wednesday. I went to a Euro meet, and they had a couple of those old Discoveries or Defenders. Sorry,
Defenders. Yeah.
All right, I think I have this mocked up. For those of you who the contrast isn't really working in my favor, but we do have a C1 Pro leafer.
Yeah. Moving away from the C1 trail setup.
Yeah, and so goal with this, just like the mullets, I wanted to get rid of all that 3D printed stuff. So right now, you only need to use the DSM, which I think is, pat on the back because those kits were pretty expensive, but honestly, like a good chunk of it was the stupid 3D printed brace kit. So
which they were really nice braces. It just added intricacy and added cost.
They were nice. This is far better. Far better. So this is the second version. I had to figure out. So I'm not like aesthetically pleased with this slotted hole for your leaf springs, but that's where it needed to be. But it's out of the way of the belly, so I succeeded in that. The slotted bracket could go, or the hanger could go a little forward. So I think the final version, I'll move this forward. Um, Also, I don't, because it's leaf spring. I don't think we need this super tall shock hoop.
Yeah.
Because I don't think anybody's running like 100 mil just oil shocks. So
Right.
I'll probably do something like this and integrate, do like some that that focuses. I'll probably do some integrated hoop on top of um, the forward motor mounts. But I think other than that, those two items, I think this will be pretty close to the finished product. That way, everyone has a C1 leafer, and it should be pretty budget oriented too, because you don't need a ton of stuff.
Right. Looks good.
No, I know the team guys are really bugging me to put the BZN right here, but realistically, even if like you cut this, I think
I wouldn't be able to.
yeah, I think even these, I'd have to round out these holes quite a bit also. So the BZN is like our little logo is kind of too small to fit in there, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to leave it a solid chunk. You could put like your, you could put like a number there, number plate. That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, Jeremy, that's kind of the whole deal with like the C1 Trail and like the G Speed B1 C1, just the 2016 ish, 2015 16 ish chassis that everybody's been running. The bellies hang way down below the body, so trying to squish the chassis down to where we can get the rocker panels basically parallel with at least the top of the skid plate, trying to take some height out of them.
Oh, I actually have one here. I do have some old stock. I think I'll be donating. Yeah. Here's a good. You can almost put the belly inside of.
Yeah, it's like 15 millimeters higher and 35 millimeters shorter in length.
So, yeah, this is quite a long boy.
Yep.
I mean, I get it. We're Leafs. We're not looking for the most performance, but why leave it on the table?
Right.
But yeah, I think this will be pretty nice.
Looks good.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm satisfied with it. There's those two things I'm gonna fix, but this version is completely usable, and it can go out to the couple drivers who want to test them.
Cool. TRD says, I'm torn. The new Tundra Sequoias fit 35 stock, 37s with 2 inches of lift. Wes, how'd you like that white Sequoia I posted last week?
Those Sequoias are nice, man. I think that one had big wheels. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
But the new Sequoias are nice. I actually saw a new Prius for the first time yesterday. They look pretty cool. They're
the updated Mustang Mach-E's look better too now.
Oh god, they still that
a little SUV. They're much better than the
My opinions on that are not good.
So I pulled a dumbass move on Thursday right before I left. I was leaving the shop to go home to pack stuff to leave for Friday morning, and so last week, pause. So we all know I have a JK Rubicon, and the Rubicon has a electronic sway bar disconnect in the front. Well, my electronic sway bar disconnect was not working when I bought the Jeep. So I ordered this $25 manual knobby dude. It's 3 bolts. You take the electric motor off, you bolt this thing on there, and you just turn the knob to unlock the sway bar.
Oh, that's cool. It's like
So
a manual hub for a sway bar.
yes,
That's
yeah,
cool.
you just turn the knob in and it disconnects the sway bar. It's super easy to use, super easy to install, and it was only $25.
Yeah.
So cool. I just ordered one and whatever. So I knew it was coming on Thursday. So Thursday morning, I pulled the sway bar motor off the Jeep, and I went into my Super Chips Trail Dash and deactivated the light on the dash, the sway bar light, because without the motor on there, the light just flashes at you.
Mm-hmm.
So I got on there and deactivated the light, and then that thing came, so I bolted that onto the Jeep, and then my curiosity got the best of me. So I drilled out all the rivets on the electric motor, and when I drilled the last rivet out, it came spring of a thing apart. Fucking parts went flying everywhere. I'm like, oh no. But like, it was already not working. So what am I gonna do? Break it worse? You know what I mean? I already put the manual disconnect on it. Whatever. So this thing came zinging apart. But so I pulled out all the guts, and all it was is like a 380 sized RC motor down inside there. So I grabbed a battery pack and some jump leads, and I put power to that motor, and it spun, and I put power to it the other way, and it spun back the other way. So then I gathered up all the parts, and all it is like it's just an RC motor with a pinion on it, and then there was a 3-gear planetary, and then just like a screw shaft with like an Acme lead screw is all it is. So that little motor spins the planetary spins the lead screw, and it pushes on a lever inside the disconnect to disconnect the sway bar. So I got it all finagled to put back together, and I bolted the cover back on instead of trying to rivet it all on. I put it back on the Jeep, and what do you know? It works.
Nice.
So then when I was leaving the shop, I went out back. They've got big dirt piles out back behind the shop that I drive through pretty regularly, but I've never driven through them with the sway bar disconnected. So I went like way up on this one dirt hill that's pretty far off camber, trying to flex as much as I could on the Jeep to see where the tires are going to rub now. Well, when I dropped off the backside of that, it like slid down, and I felt it bump on the frame as I stopped, and I let off the brakes and I hit the throttle, and it just went flump down onto the frame. All 4 tires just spinning off the ground. I'm like, well, shit. I'm by myself out here. There's nobody else here. So my shop is attached to a U-Haul, and I know their alarm code. So I went in through my bathroom into where their secondary panel is, and I shut off their alarm. And I walked in there, got a U-Haul truck keys, drove a U-Haul truck out back, got the winch line out, hooked the winch line up, and winched myself off the dirt piles and put the U-Haul truck back. It was freaking ridiculous.
Ocean's 11 shit.
Yeah, damn long-bellied 4-door. Yeah. Where did you order that sway bar disconnect? So what got me looking at the disconnects? Their Evo Manufacturing has an air assist one that you hook up to like an ARB compressor, and you push a button, and it's just an air cylinder. All it does is push the lever inside the sway bar. The sway bar, think of the sway bar disconnect as like transmission gears in a car. There's a couple of dogs on the side of the gear, and they lock in together, and it's like a spring-loaded thing. So all you're doing is pushing a spring and unlocking the 2 gears from each other. That's all it is. So just pushing a lever inside. So the air actuated one is like $200 and something. I'm like, okay, that's not that bad. but you got to have a compressor and a button and a solenoid and extra air lines and all the extra crap. They also make a manual one that looks a lot like this, but it's like $100 or something like that, $120. So then I just Google searched, manual sway bar disconnect Rubicon, and there's like a $50 option that is exactly this one. So then I Googled that one, and I found them on eBay. They're usually $49, $59 on eBay, but there was one listing and it's still up. They must have a bunch of them for $24.99. So it's like half price. I thought about ordering 4 or 5 or 6 more of them and just reselling them for $50.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
It's a good deal.
I'm glad my bougie button works now. I can just click my disconnect.
Yeah. Can you do it under load like those Broncos, or is that just that seems kind of like that seems like not cool to do?
No, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it will or not, but I imagine you can click the button and it'll try, and then as soon as it's in a position where it'll release, it'll probably come back. But I don't know. I'm not gonna try. Just do it on flat ground before you drive out to whatever you're
doing. Steve's wondering what the wheelbase is on this. Same as everything else. I'm shooting for like 11.8 to 12.5. Like I said, I still have to move this hanger around a little bit, but that's my goal. Try to. I get it that these slotted holes aren't like aesthetically the coolest looking thing, but I think the adjustability coming off or outweighs the looks. So yeah, I'm shooting for 11.8 to 12.5. That's kind of your standard. Also, versus the old trail adapter, it actually added at the end of the frame. This is still all the same length, so there's no added length. So there's a 1/4 inch or so, but that's pretty much standard on the mullets. I think I matched a lot of this up with the mullets, so everything's pretty standard. This should be pretty easy to, if you're trying to get into the leaf spring stuff. This should be pretty easy to swap over.
Yeah. Lucas Klein, did I see you guys are going to Badlands this weekend? I saw somebody post they were going to Badlands this weekend. The other thing I got for my Jeep, I got my chromoly axles. I think I told you guys that a couple weeks ago. I got my chromoly axles, but today I decided I was going to just replace everything while I was doing it. So I ordered brand new hub bearings for both sides on the front, which came with new speed sensors. And then I ordered inner axle seals and a front diff cover gasket. And then I ordered rear wheel speed sensors. So I'll replace the rear speed sensors while I'm at it. And the new axles came with new wheel bearings for the rear, new axle bearings for the rear. So, but I'm just going to do all of the drivetrain all at the same time. I don't run a sway bar on the 80. It wanders a little, but not too bad. Let me tell you, a lifted JK with no sway bar on the front wanders real bad. It's not an
option. On my 96, I had 4.5 inch lift. I had a front sway bar, no rear sway bar, but man, that thing was kind of like trophy truck leaning. It wasn't too bad, but it was noticeable. Dude, the traffic around here, man, I'm glad I got the Lexus because, dude, people are just like, I can't wait for people to just not be driving. I want like the general public. I want them to be like on buses or on autonomous vehicles because I literally cannot go past more than 5 cars without seeing somebody like this driving on their phone. I'm like, and the speeds down here are like 80 mile an hour too. We're not talking like 35 or 50 mile an hour. We're talking like 80. They're probably going sometimes cruising 90, and they're just on their phone. You just see their head like dip down. I'm like, dude, you could literally just kill like 30 people right now.
Yeah, you could kill a bus full of nuns right now.
That's full nuts. But yeah.
Tim says, so you're saying we can build a Leaf Class 0 the night of Crawlapalooza?
Dude, if you're down, I'm down. I might have a few of these frames I'm bringing, and these will be prototype, like designated prototypes. This version won't go on the site because, like I said, I have two things I'm just gonna touch up and add to it. So, those of you going to Crawlapalooza, the team will kind of have dibs, but I don't know.
Nothing was as good as COVID lockdown traffic. Us essentials were doing 90 everywhere. I still don't pay attention to my speedometer. If I get pulled over for speeding and get a ticket, I will gladly pay it because that will be my permit fee for driving like an asshole the last 4 years. And not even care. I will pay it gladly.
Yeah.
Now that I'm driving the Jeep, the Jeep doesn't get up to speed quite like the Ram does, but it doesn't mean that I don't go any slower overall.
Did we come up with a thing for their After Dark festivities?
I have not yet.
Man, I was so gung ho for Brazen After Dark until I realized that Super Shafty had that. And I was like, oh, I can't be like that.
Nope.
I thought they took a page out of our book, but I was told that they've been doing that for like a couple of years, so I'll give it to him. But Brazen After Dark did sound kind of cool. I guess it could still be, but I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah. Taco time over Taco Bell. We're back on tacos again, huh? We're going back to taco talk. Yeah, what's the nighttime fun for this year? We're just gonna do a night run. We're gonna try to. It depends on what spillway the comp stuff's. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter what spillway the comp stuff's in, but just like last year, grab trucks, head down to the main spillway down there, and play around till batteries are dead.
My goal is pizza, drinks, and I'm gonna set up some tables if people want to come like tune their trucks. We're gonna have so many team drivers there. We got some good input.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Friday we'll do food and drinks, and then Saturday night do the night run.
Yeah.
Leave whenever, come back when all of our batteries are dead.
Yep. Yeah. Hardly reclines. That's a good suggestion. Behind on the video. Yeah, you're like an hour and 20 minutes behind on the video. Yeah, but I have that big signboard thing, that double-sided sign thing. I figured I'd make one side that has like the Friday night, we should have pizza and drinks here at X time. Come hang out at the table, and then the other side will have Saturday, meet here at 7 p.m. or whatever.
Yeah, I think that sign will come in clutch because, especially if we're going to be out and about throughout the day, people won't know when to come to the booth. Right. Unless Ashley is feeling very nice and wants to run the booth. for.
we don't need to leave her there all day.
She's gonna. Her and Austin are gonna go back with a bunch of frames.
Yeah. Tim says he'll bring the fireball.
Don't bring.
No, Tim says he'll bring the fireball.
Oh, okay. All right. we definitely ain't making it to the class one or class 2 courses the next day.
Yeah, we get all sauced up on fireball on Friday night. I'm not running class 2 on Saturday.
I may run this. I don't know. Honestly, I think this might be one of those years where I just, like kind of what you're saying, just vibe out and go trailing around.
Yeah. I have this entire class 2 truck is ready to put a battery in. I mean, I'm really, really upset that my skeletons have spider webs on them.
So Scale, you're ready for the Halloween already.
Yeah, so I built these 2 brand new comp trucks for 2023 in November of last year, and I have not comped them a single time this year.
Nobody wants any part of those new rules.
Yeah, so I ended up the events that I went to, I ended up driving other trucks.
Dude, that bed turned out pretty dang good, man.
Yeah. This my class 1 truck, I 3D printed my bed for also, my drop bed.
Dang, what do you think?
It is exactly 1.25 inches deep. So it fits the rules. Yeah, I built these 2 brand new trucks to fit the rules, and then there was only one Sorka comp in June and one in October. Yeah. Rectangles are dying. I agree, Tim. I think that whole rule set is dead.
Is that the
whole committee? Man, I think the whole committee's dead. So I don't know that I've discussed this with you or not, but I want to potentially try to set up a group of people and make a new rule set. I think that cumulatively we can all agree that the Sorka rules this year did not fit what everybody wanted to do, because clearly there were only two big name comps in the entire country for the entire year that used those rule sets. So Tim, TRD Adventures, and I were talking about it, and I did read through some of yours, Tim, and you're right along the lines of what I was thinking. But because, like I said, clearly people don't want to follow those rules. Otherwise, there would have been more than 2 comps. So, and last I knew, there were only 3 Sorka committee members. There may be more now. There may be less now. I don't know. But the last I knew, there were only 3. One guy who didn't really comp much anymore at all. One guy who was pretty new to the hobby, and one guy that did the interweb stuff. So clearly, people didn't appreciate the rule set. So I think it's time for new rules.
Leafs only. All right, sounds good.
Yeah, rule number 1: Leafs only. Yeah.
If there was Leafs only rule, I think this year we would see some ridiculous Leaf Spring ideas.
Yeah.
I think the double elliptical would come back.
Yeah. Or the sideways leaf springs in the bed. Have you seen that?
No. Wait. I think I've seen that on a real truck.
Yes, yeah. It's on a 1-to-1. It's a cantilever arm, but the leaf springs are mounted horizontally inside the bed of the truck. Tim Samuels has taken over the family business and had to step away. Yeah. Most of them all are left. Most of them all left after the new rules were made. Most of them left before the rules were finished because they were inactive. Have one of Tim Samuel's builds. Very fortunate to have Tim as a local resource. Tim is a very good resource too. He's one of those guys who was in the hobby forever, and he has the mind of an ox or an elephant, whatever. Elephants never forget. Mind of an elephant.
Mind of an ox.
Mind of an elephant. He remembers everything. So yeah, he's
people's
definitely
names.
Yeah, definitely a good dude. I think I've only met Tim one time in person at a comp, but he was always cool on the internet. The rccrawler.com days. I've seen that set up. Been thinking of a way to do it on a crawler. Yeah, like I said, it's just a cantilever, but it's like horizontally mounted instead of vertically.
Send me that 3D printer and I'll get something going.
Yeah, I think I have a video of it saved somewhere because I was like, dang, that's super cool. I think I sent it to Tim Thompson when he was starting the air ride. Yeah, he was starting the air ride on his mini truck. I'm like, dude, just do this instead. Will the C1 Leafer need some type of traction bar? So it's not technically called a traction bar. It's called an anti-wrap bar. And yes, any leaf spring setup should have an anti-wrap bar, front and rear. My personal opinion, needs one front and rear.
All the provisions are there too.
Yeah.
Here, and then I still left 4 back here. Probably not needed. Probably an absolute waste of space, but they're there.
Yeah. I personally run them off of the upper link mount. Yeah.
I've seen some on the lower.
A lot of people run them on the lower. I personally run them on the upper. I mean, you've got the leaf spring mounted at the bottom. You know, you're holding the axle from the bottom with the leaf spring, so you're
still gonna get wrapped.
You have the best chance of eliminating the wrap from the top.
So the running the shackle in front makes the rear leaf act as a link. Yes. So yeah, the leaf should act as a lower link, and if you put a upper anti-wrap, you should be solid.
Yeah.
Should be.
Yep, you should always run some type of anti-wrap on leaf springs. Unless you want your leaf springs to look like a pretzel after 5 minutes.
Oh man. Couple of 4S bombs and she'll be toast.
Yeah, pretty much.
Your leaf springs will have apexes.
Mm-hmm. I have a bent set of leaves around here somewhere from just that. I'm just going to test drive this real quick. I don't need to put that on there right now. Yeah. Should have put it on there. Well, it's 9:40, so we're making it through the night without. Well, we had mad issues at the beginning, but we're doing pretty good now.
Third live stream for the night.
Yeah, third attempt of the live stream for tonight. Which chassis would work with a Phoenix? Currently, right now, we do not have anything that works directly with a Phoenix. However, all of our chassis will work with the Phoenix axles, shocks, drive shafts, and links. But you will not be able to use the Phoenix cross braces. I don't suggest using any of the Vanquish transmissions because all of our chassis at this point have short bellies and short overall heights. And when you try to cram a VFD in one of our chassis, the spur gear is like above the top of the shock hoops. So I would suggest some sort of a different transmission setup but you can absolutely use the axles, shocks, links, drive shafts. Might be able to use the bumpers, but I would probably just get different bumpers too. Are you running courses again this year, Brett, for Crawlapalooza? I'm going to run Class 1 for sure. Well, I haven't decided on Class 2 yet. Wheels are in progress again. Machine behind me is back up and running, so wheels are in progress. I'm trying to have them done, or at least some of them done, for Crawlapalooza to take with me.
I want
Whatever.
dibs.
Yeah, whatever sells at Crawlapalooza sells. Whatever doesn't sell will go on the site after Crawlapalooza, assuming that I get them done to take to Crawlapalooza. But yeah, they are. It's in progress.
I want dibs on a set.
Yeah.
This guy.
I've got a set of Blems for you.
I'm gonna scratch the crap out of them, so Blems are peachy.
Right.
I do need a set for the Jelly Bean. I still have the 3D printed Shapeways ones on that truck.
Yeah.
They're still out. They're still going.
Yeah. I think you should build a C3. They're fun. I built a C3 in like February or March, and I drove it a couple of times, and I sold it because I just don't like C3 personally.
We like suffering. We're gonna run C2s and C3.
I mean, I absolutely could do that too. I could run my Class 2 truck, but they like rear steer or dig. So
yeah, I was at a slight disadvantage at the Rocky Mountain regionals.
Yeah,
and I will say, I had big tires on that too.
Yeah. Anyway. The one thing that's still on the site that I cannot believe is still on the site are these SMW 1.9s. These wheels are super freaking cool, and I honestly think I'm going to take them back off the site because I like them. What remote did you run for four-wheel steer? My Noble Pro with a dial for rear steer, not like a 3 or 5 position. I actually had the dial on it, and I had mixing set up. It was pretty easy to set up, and it's not that I don't like four-wheel steer. It's not that I don't like dig. I just don't personally prefer the way those trucks drive. I like my little tire trucks the way they drive better.
I think I'm going to end up putting these, I don't know, I'm torn. I'll have to see if anybody's got some, probably some, need some Predator compound pro lines. Maybe I'll order some.
Yeah.
These Rock Beasts are nice, but I think with the, actually these will still grip really good at Disney. Maybe I'll swap these over.
Disney is not a tire choice place; it's a foam choice place.
Yeah. Well, I got the dual state. I got some CI foams in these. These are pretty nice. Yeah. These are another one. I put these up for, what are they at, $100 on the garage?
I don't remember what they're on there for.
But these are aluminum wheels. Kind of they're probably a 350 hub style or like offset. But these are nice wheels. If they don't sell for Crawlapalooza, I'm going to keep them. Or I'm going to take them off the site and just run these on those whatever balloons you have.
They are on the site for $100 for all 4 of them.
Aluminum wheels, CI foam, Rock Beasts.
Yeah, for $100. Crawlapalooza does have a minimum tire height for Class 3, so I wouldn't be able to run my C2 in C3, unfortunately.
Wait, did you ever get those pre-order
Hyrax tires? Yeah, I put them on that Class 3 truck, and then I sold it to Ryan.
That's right.
Yep, I got them. They were exactly as I expected them to be. They're G8 compound Hyraxes, but they were narrow and tall. So
G8's kind of a weird. Do you think they went with the G8 because they're narrow and they're like prone to folding over? Or I wonder why they went with the G8.
I don't know. Yeah. I will run my trenchers in Class 1.
Solid.
My goal for Crawlapalooza is the same as last year. I want top 3 in my class because those look cool. So, my goal for Crawlapalooza for Class 1 is to not shit the bed on one of 4 courses because I had 2 courses with perfect scores. I had 1 course that I had 1 reverse on, and then I absolutely forgot how to drive on the next course and had like a -6. I was still negative, but like it was only like a -6, and that put me in like 10th or something like that for Class 1. I have no idea. Like I said, I had perfect courses going, and then all of a sudden my brain just went, I've never driven an RC car before. Let's make stupid mistakes. Like,
Usually what happens to me. It happens.
And it was the hardest course of the day for Class 1, I felt, but still, there was no reason for me to drive like I did.
Yeah.
It certainly the truck certainly was capable of driving way better than I drove it. My brain left the chat. That's exactly what happened. My hands just went, nope, no more controller.
No work key.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I did okay for being my first big event in that style. Never used a winch stick before. I never used my winch at all at Crawlapalooza in Class 1 or Class 2 last year. I did not pull cable at all last year. Class 3 probably would have, but Class 1 and 2 I did not pull cable. I'm here to chew gum and smash gates. I'm all out of gum. Exactly. I'm excited for this ATL Pro V2 to be finished. Yeah, I really, really like the Pro V2 chassis for Class 2. What are you doing now?
I just realized that some of the epoxy was bleeding, or it was oozing into the little channel for the little tabs on the taillight. So I'm making that not an issue before it becomes an issue.
Yeah. High Desert Scale Adventures, how's it going? You know what? I do have these tires here. I could put these on. I've got these Hyraxes on 2.2 KMCs. I could run these in Class 3.
They're not gonna run Class 3.
I could put them on my Class 2 truck. Put them on my Class 2 truck for Class 3, so I have an excuse as to why I sucked at driving. Well, I'm just driving a Class 2 truck. Leave me alone.
That was my excuses at Rocky Mountain. I was like, oh, this is just my Class 2 truck we threw together last night at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. They're like, where's your dig? I'm like, this is not at all that truck.
Yeah, I don't have that. I can't get that motor to sit lower, so it's using the upper mount. Need to find my slipper pads, then it'll be much closer. Send me pictures of what you're talking about because you should be able to put the motor all the way down, especially with the motor you were running. Yeah, send pictures of that. We'll see if we can work through it. Whether you need to, mirror the motor mount or something, we'll figure that out together. I think for the first time in the history of ever, I don't have a wheel nut wrench within arm's reach of me right now. And I wanted to try to put these Class 3 tires on this truck to see how silly it looked. And I don't See a wheel wrench tool. That's a real wide hub. And that doesn't have a hub in it at all. Okay, well, so I need to find some hubs. It might be my drive shaft is too long from the spur to the transfer case. Yeah, if your prop shaft from the spur to the transfer case is too long, you won't be able to because it'll bottom out. Dude, there's no way I'm not running these freaking things on this truck. The axles are too narrow to run this big of a tire. Like, it just looks dumb. It looks way out of proportion. Like it can't steer. I'd have to cut the hell out of the body. Like that's not happening. It's all in the front bumper. It's all into the links in the bottom of the body. That's not happening. And
that's a hard body, right?
Tire, yeah, this tire has like a 750 hub in it.
I had that purple whatever body. We cut the crap out of that thing to fit 2.2s.
Yeah, like this.
Which is why I made this.
This is fully drooped.
Yeah, that's the reason why I made this body, because I cut that one up and trashed it at regionals. So
yeah, that's not happening on this truck. Talk to you guys later. I got more sponsorship letters to send out. I think 2024 will be a good year. Lucas, I got your sponsorship letter. I haven't sent it to Wesley yet, so we haven't talked about it yet.
Is that trouble?
No, it's for Crawler Canyon.
Oh, okay.
So Wes, can I bring my cruiser body for you to do some body work?
Tim, yes, do it. Yeah, dude, I'll make you this. You can check it out to make sure you want me to cut up a $60 bill for you, but from your response upon getting that body, I don't think you're gonna mind me chopping it up, but I'll definitely do that for you if you'd like.
All right. Well,
also,
we got about
if you want it any narrower or anything, also that's a good time to let me know.
Yeah. We got about 5 minutes left tonight, so we can recap a little bit. All pending orders on the website, if you have a pending order, should all be shipped by, I'm hoping by tomorrow night, potentially Wednesday. There is still some inventory on the site from the weekend. So if anybody is still looking for stuff, there is still some stuff on the website. Wesley mocked up a Leaf Spring C1 Pro. It's a prototype still, not production, but close.
Come check it out at Crawlapalooza.
Yep, we'll have it at Crawlapalooza. We will be at Crawlapalooza in 17 days. The 19th. I think we get there on the 18th. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't remember.
Yeah, I have Thursday off, so I'll be driving up Thursday.
Yeah, so drive down. Well, you're driving up. I'm driving down.
Yeah.
So we'll be there Thursday night, and then all day Friday, all day Saturday, and then I'll come home on Sunday morning. Just wanted to say thanks for the awesome parts. Finishing up my high-low. Can't wait to drive it. Awesome. Thank you for your purchase.
Yeah, thanks. I didn't tell you yet, but with this new revision of the C1 Pro, I actually got about 10 full parties in also that we could add to the site.
Okay. text me that because I'm gonna forget in the next couple minutes. By the time I get home, I will already have forgotten that. So
yeah, Brain has left the chat.
Yeah.
I gotta make an alarm for me to text you to.
yeah.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah. So cool. If anybody else has any questions, shoot them real quick.
What does that mean, doing actual work? Everyone does know I'm working 11. I'm working 11-hour days at work now, so pretty much work and then this during the week, man. Yeah, that'd be fun.
I'm gonna go ahead and while I'm still here right now, remove the 2 failed streams from earlier. Go ahead and delete those forever so that people aren't seeing those here in a little bit.
Try to erase our mistakes.
Yeah, get those gone.
Never happened.
Looks like you just sold your wheels and tires.
All right, so I will not be swapping these out at Crawlapalooza.
No, you will not be.
I should put these back together now. No, I'm just kidding. I never took them
away. Yeah. Yeah. So cool. Yeah. Thanks everybody for checking in on us again on another Monday live stream. Thanks for those of you that stuck with us while we failed epically twice at the beginning of the stream.
Y'all are pretty patient with us. We appreciate it.
Man, can't believe. I thought we were having Wi-Fi issues last week, so I bought bunch of new stuff to hardwire the computer, and hardwiring was worse, apparently.
I wonder what, man. I don't know. I don't know why.
Yeah, whatever. It's over with now. We're not having to worry about it. So
dang it, we're mad all over again.
We're good. So yeah. Anyway, thanks everybody for checking in. We're gonna bounce out of here for the night, and we'll catch you. Should be on next week, just fine, like normal, like always. And if anybody's going to Crawlapalooza, we'll see you guys there in a couple of weeks. Make sure you stop by and hang out. I don't know if we will do a live stream the day after Crawlapalooza or not. We'll have to see how that Monday goes.
Yeah.
After travel days on Sunday, and then trying to catch up with orders on Monday from being gone for 5 days. So.
Yeah, let us know, live stream or orders.
Right. Yeah. You may have to choose. So.
Yeah, I might have to choose. But.
All right. Well, we're going to get out of here. We will see you guys on the next one.
Appreciate it. Have a good one.
See ya.